baby's gonna change everything.
I'll teach the baby art and Chris will change the diapers.
You're giving me
Lee would be such a good mom.
So would you.
Doesn't matter if it's Lee or me, because we don't have the money.
His visa runs out in a few months and he doesn't want to go back to Korea.
My grandmother doesn't know I'm gay.
You come out, they cut you off.
I have a proposal. You marry me, and I'll pay for Liz to grow a baby.
What?
Me? My daughter marrying a man.
It's for the cause. We're helping a gay couple stay together.
Delete all of it?
All of it. Every Pride Parade photo, every National Coming Out Day post.
Can I still post Instagram stories?
Do you want grandchildren?
I'll delete Instagram now.
Yan's grandmother flew in from Korea to meet her future granddaughter-in-law.
What are we supposed to do exactly?
We gotta de-queer the house. You.
What?
You look gay.
When I see something,
Honey, I'm home.
and when I try to help,
Have you picked the wedding date?
We don't want a ceremony.
No ceremony?
This is absurd. All so you can get a green card.
Let's try looking more in love.
I don't even want to be an American. The trains are so slow and I never know how much to tip.
what can I do? What can I do? What can I say? What can I say?
할아버지 물론 네 결혼 기다리셔. 니들 다 바보야.
What did she say? She said we're dumb.
Hello, everyone. My name is Heather Hurtwit, the NRW or Nerds Rule the World, and I'm here with Andrew Ahn. Wow, I'm having a bad day with names. I'm so sorry, sir. The director of the Wedding Banquet, which arrives in theaters on April 18th. How are you today, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm so sorry. Trust me, I said Bob's wrong today, so I'm having a great day with names.
No
so I want to
worries.
talk the Wedding Banquet. I know this is going to be a cliche, and you've heard this from probably every single journalist you have spoken to, but I have to ask, why remake or retell, really, the 1993 story that honestly not too many people know about, but why retell that specific story?
You know, there were many reasons why I was scared to, for sure. You know, it's one of my favorite movies. It was the first gay film that I'd ever seen. You know, it was directed by Ang Lee, who is a legend. But you know, like any great art, it inspired art. And for me, watching it as an adult, you know, considering this reimagining, it was so inspiring. I watched the film and thought about how family and culture and sexuality are all balanced in my life. You know, I was inspired to think about building queer family and thinking about marriage and having children. And so, you know, the ideas really sprang forth very organically from Ang Lee's film, and I wanted to continue this story and you know, show a modern day audience why the themes of the original film are still so relevant. You know, it's a very different context. It's a very different moment in time. But I hope that people, you know, see that that I have so much immense respect for the original that I didn't want to imitate it. I wanted to be inspired by it.
And you get that a lot. We're not looking at the same, you know, we're not looking at the same couple dynamic at all in this film. We're definitely looking at something different. And I just want to point this out because I find it really funny. In the trailer, we see the moment where Angela's in the bathroom getting prepared to meet her soon-to-be grandmother-in-law. And she makes the comment about everything is gay in the house. And when my producer and I were talking about that moment, I was just like, how true is that? I have gay shit right above my head, right? That's just such a gay household.
Amazing. Yes. It's so funny how you know, our queerness just like permeates, right? You know, I'm in a hotel, so this is not this is not very queer, but you know, I think that's the really exciting thing about, you know, about building a home is that you get to make it a reflection of who you are. And so it's really hard to change that.
Absolutely. And you don't want to. We don't want to change that. Be strong, be proud. Um, I want to talk about some of the different concepts. You got to play with the great thing about where we are, also some of the problems right now, but the great thing of where we are right now is that queerness has developed, it has grown, it has become more of a conversation, and we can talk about the different elements of it. You have non-binaryism in your film. You have outwardly lesbian, and you have outwardly gay. So what was the most exciting element when it comes to queerness that you got to express in this film for you?
Yeah, I'll say one of the insights that really drove the film was um, something that uh, I I discovered in an argument with my boyfriend, um, where we talked about having kids for the first time in our relationship, and uh, my boyfriend said regarding kids, well, if it happens, it happens, which is a line in the movie, and I had to tell him, no, it doesn't, not for gay people, like we have to be very intentional because we can't whoopsie daisy a baby. And I realized in that argument that um, as queer people, any sort of hesitation we have, which is very natural in this process, um, could become a giant obstacle. And so it's extra hard for queer people to have kids and build family. And that's not even considering homophobia, that's not even considering government policy, that's just queer people, and so that was something I was really interested in discovering and wanted to explore through this character of Angela, that, she is so excited, to support, Lee's um, desire to be a mother, um, that Angela kind of forgets about herself in that, and and then when she has to reckon with it, she's like, "Am I ready for this?" And ultimately, I think she is. It's just that she gets scared, and I think that that's really human, and that nearly derails the whole thing. Um, and so that was something that I wanted uh, to to put into this film that I think is a really unique and um, like nuanced conversation.
To go off of that, one thing that you mentioned the homophobia aspect to some of this. Um, and I apologize, spoiler guys. There's a moment where we see a interconnected moment between a gay man and a lesbian woman. Why was it so important to have that in there? Because a lot of people might see that as like kind of like a chasing Amy moment where the man has to make the woman straight or something like that. So why have that element where drunk stuff happens?
Yeah, I think for me, some of that was inspired by the original film. And some of that was also to talk about, uh, the spectrum of sexuality, you know, uh, and, and in some ways it feels weirdly gayer somehow. um, uh, and I think it was also to explore a relationship dynamic, that how do we support each other? How do we find comfort? How do we um, you know who do we connect with? Um, and so I think it's a fun, interesting moment that I hope lots of people, like talk about and also get a fun laugh at.
All right, that's fair. I can deal with that. I can deal with that answer. All right, that's fair. So with that being said, one of the really strong points of this is found family. This story is about creating a family that loves you and surrounds you with it. And you see Min's grandmother realizing that she might not be part of that. Why was that? Why is that theme so important to this film and many others like it?
I think found family, um, it means so much to queer people because, our fixed family, our biological families might not always um, understand our values or um, treat us as complete human beings. And I think that chosen family is it's a big part of my life. I was really interested in this film to show how these family bonds, whether they're chosen or biological, have to be nurtured and supported, and you have to work hard at them. These are not, they're not easy. This film isn't about, the honeymoon period of falling in love. It's, all these characters are already in love with each other. And now it's like, oh gosh, like, how do we express that? How do we grow that? How do we move to this next phase, And so I really wanted to get that across to an audience that, any sort of relationship is really difficult to create and nurture. And so when we do, we should celebrate it.
Oh, that's so beautiful. That is such a lovely way to answer. Thank you, Andrew, so much for your time. The Wedding Banquet arrives in theaters nationwide on April 18th. Thank you so much, and you have a wonderful day.
No, not again.
Will you marry me?
Man, I can't.
Not you. I don't want to marry you anymore. I want to marry her.
Me?
What?
We're friends. We help each other.
Okay.
I heard all about the IVF and I'm so sad. But until my grandfather takes my money away, I have so much money. I want you to have some so you and Lee can have a family. So, I have a proposal. You marry me and I'll pay for Liz to grow a baby.
You're joking, right? He's joking, right?
I mean, it's an idea.
A very good one.
No! This is absurd. This is crazier than you marrying me.
You left me no choice.
Okay, why is he proposing to me? You marry him.
Hun, my entire career is being gay. I don't think that we would clear the green card interview.
I'm gay too, remember?
Yeah, but you work in a worm lab. You don't talk to anyone. I mean, you've been with dudes before.
Okay, I can't marry him.
I can't either.
Neither of you are marrying my boyfriend.
So you do want to marry me?
No!
This is all very hard on my ego.
Nerds rule the world.
Pleasure chatting with you. Love to all my nerds who rule the world.
Nerds rule the world.
Yes, we do.
Thanks. Nerds rule the world. Thank you.
I love the nerds ruling the world, so more power to you.
Patrick, what up, man? And yes, they do. Nerds rule the world, kid.
Yes,
know what
sir.
I'm one of
Thank
them.
you. Awesome. Kuya P, nerds rule the world. Hello.
Yes, they do. Yes.
Oh,
Nerds rule the world.
I got.
It's in the title of your show, like nerds rule the world. Like I want more Black weirdos on screen, and I don't feel like we ever get to see that very much.
Thank you so much. Nerds do rule the world.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, nerds rule.
Love it.
Hello, Sarah. Hello, Julian.
Yes,
Rock on. I love it. Thank you so much.
It's good to see you. I love Nerds Rule the World.
But yeah, there's a heavy nerd component, man.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you ask me, nerds rule the world. So
Absolutely.
And you're right. Nerds do rule the world.
we're just the best.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies.
Nerds so much.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
It's your boy Kuya P. Nerds rule the world. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you.
do. They rule the world all right.
Yes. Take care, Tony. Thank you, guys.